Good morning. It is day 12. I stayed at Muskrat Creek Shelter last night. When I got in, it was about 7:30, 7:45. Those last 3 miles were stupid difficult. But anyways, I got in, I got my chores done and ended up setting up in the shelter. I'm the only one here. About 10 o'clock last night. So then I did a bear hang with my food bag. I was really happy with it. I thought I did a good job. And about 10:30 last night, I heard a bear and it has got all my food. There's litter all over the campground. I've got to go clean that up and now figure out what I'm going to do today, because I'm 12 miles in from Dix Creek. I'm looking at my app far out and I can't see anywhere that I can get off trail that isn't, like 28 miles away, which would be 2 more days of hiking to get into Franklin, which I cannot do without any food. I've got very little service here, so I've written to the hostel owners that I was at a couple of nights ago, Green Dragon, back in Hiawassee, and to see if they've got more local knowledge that, maybe there's a gap up here that I can get off at and easily get a hitch into town. So it's going to be an interesting day, but these are the challenges. I can't believe a bear got all my food. Anyways, I'll keep you updated. Good morning again. I'm about 2 miles on trail. I wanted to get on trail and start walking for a little bit to sort of clear my mind and get into, I guess, just a better mood. I was really frustrated with myself this morning with the whole bear situation. I also didn't sleep well. And I guess what I was really annoyed with is that I knew that shelter had bear problems. I could have stopped at the 4 mile mark. I was in a hurry, I'd had so many days off. I'd been messed around with that shuttle. I just really wanted to get back on trail, but instead of listening to my body and taking it easy, I kind of just got all in a rush. So anyways, here we are. I'm very grateful that I called, or I messaged the Green Dragon Hostel, and Donna gave me heaps of really excellent information on how to get out of my predicament. Okay, so here's what's happening. I'm walking 4 miles north to Deep Gap, where I'm getting a shuttle. He couldn't get me till like 12:30, so I did relax at the shelter there, or at least I spent some time trying to clean up all of the mess and search for anything that was salvageable, especially like my cook pot, my cook system, which I just replaced, but not much luck. I did find my doTERRA Correct X, which had been untouched, so small wins. So yeah, I'm heading to Deep Gap. I then messaged a hostel, the Grove. There we go, the Grove. And it had been recommended to me. They were fully booked, but with finding out what had happened to me last night, they've organised a bed in the sunroom for tonight. So I'm very grateful. I mean, the community is amazing. People are really there to support and help you. I need to probably just get over myself and move on with a positive attitude, but I'm working through it. Wow, this fog just keeps coming in waves. And I didn't mention before, but it is pretty chilly this morning. I think we're sitting somewhere around 48, 50 degrees. I I kept my thermal bottoms on, and then my sleep or my camp clothes, because my clothes that I wore yesterday were so wet with sweat, and it was so moist in the air last night that this morning they were just soaking through and super cold. So super grateful that I did have a second pair of dry clothes and socks. All right, about a bit over a mile to go. I'm making very good time, even though I'm going very slowly. Oh, I didn't mention the town that I'm going into is Franklin, North Carolina. They have an excellent outfitter there where I'm going to be able to get my the gear that I need to replace, and hopefully also get a screen protector for my phone, as I've already cracked the one that I had.
Good morning, it is day 13 on the Appalachian Trail and I am in Franklin, North Carolina. I am at the outfitters called Outdoor 76, really great outfitters here in North Carolina. I wanted to share with you that I don't think I really had admitted to myself how scared I was the other night when the bear took my food. It wasn't till I got to town and I started speaking to my family that a lot of emotions certainly came out. I'm feeling good now, but it was definitely something I needed to just sit in and process for a while. I have quite a few jobs to do today. Number one, I'm here to get my bear canister, do a food resupply at Dollar General and Ingles, grocery store in town, and I do have my bounce box here. I wasn't meant to get into Franklin for like another 3 days, and so I did have a parcel coming here for my koozie to be able to warm soak my food. But I'm gonna have to get that sent onto another town because I don't think I'll come back in here. I'll get dropped back out at Deep Gap where I got picked up yesterday, and I will continue on my hike from there. I can't remember the name of the next town, but I'll have to figure that out at the post office, exactly where I'm going to get that parcel sent. Franklin is an awesome hiker town. Everyone here is super supportive. It's a great community. So I'll show you around the town a little bit as I get about my chores. Another thing that I want to share is that it wasn't until I was actually going through my pack today and looking at things that I realized how many things that I've lost that I couldn't find when the bear took my bear bag or my food bag, and one of those is my water pick, so for my teeth. So I've ordered one of those and I need to get that sent down onto the next town as well. All right, let's go enjoy this beautiful day in Franklin, North Carolina.
Good morning. It is day 14 on the trail and I am back on trail. I had 2 great days, or 1.5 great days in Franklin. As I said, I got my bear canister, and got to the post office, sent forward my bounce box, bought a shirt at the Outfitters, which I thought was kind of fun to commemorate the bear problem I had the other night. I got dropped back this morning at Deep Gap, which is where I got off. Thank you, Sherpa, my driver. I have now just come up a standing Indian mountain. I am taking a really slow pace today. So it's about 1.4 miles up the mountain, and that's taken me almost 2 hours. But my body feels great, and I'm only going to do, I think, a little over 8 miles today. There is an option to go 12, which I'm keeping, in my back pocket, but I think a nice 8-mile day will be great. The weather is stunning. It was a little bit cold when I started. They say start cold, and I did today. I didn't keep any of my thermals on, and I've warmed up now, but yeah, I'm not such a fan of that advice. All right, let me turn it around so you can see this stunning day. Yeah, I was saying it was a bit cold. It was about 45, 46 degrees this morning. It's warmed up now till probably about 55, 56 degrees. Might get to the low 60s. But really a beautiful day for hiking. You can see with the elevation I'm at now that the trees haven't leafed out yet up here. All right, let's keep moving. I've just taken a short little break at Beach Gap. I've only got about 3.2 miles to go. I just had a Snickers. I was actually going to have lunch. I'll show you my bear canister when I get to my campsite, or to the shelter, Carter Gap shelter. I packed it right at the bottom of my bag. I think actually the weight distribution of my bag is heaps better now, and it feels good sitting on my body. However, because the food now is at the bottom of the bag, I'd made lunch, I'd kept up my electrolytes, I packed all my daily snacks in my hip belt, so that was fine. And what I was meant to do is leave all of the things that I wanted to eat today at lunchtime out in a separate bag at the top of the bag. I just got here and I realized that I've put everything into the bear canister, and I'm not going to rifle through my bag to sit here and have a couple of tortilla wraps when I can just wait the 3.2 miles to get to camp. So yes, add that to the list of mistakes made. But it's my first day with the bear canister, so I'll show you the whole system when I get to camp. I've just gotten to the Carter Gap shelter. I'm going to unpack my bag. The only thing I've taken off the bag was my puffy, which was sitting on the front, but it is a little bit chilly up here. My sleeping pad, anything that I'm going to sleep with, I'll just throw into the shelter. My tent and wet gear and ground cloth are all on the outside. I won't be using them, except I will use the ground cloth to put down on the ground, or if it does become misty up here, I will throw that over my sleeping bag like I did the other night, or it's actually a quilt that I've got. I'll need my water out to cook with. Let me get these off too. I'll change out of my shoes into my camp shoes and camp clothes eventually. All right, cook pot. I lost mine in the, I'm going to start calling it the bear attack, in the bear incident. And I don't know if I told you, but the hostel had a hiker drop this brand new pot and stove off a couple of days ago, and they gave it to me. Very, very grateful. People are awesome. All right, my electronics. I'll need to get that out because that's got my power bank. My clothes, I'll swap out I'll take the hiking clothes off, hang them out, and then put on my thermals and camp clothes, as well as a different pair of socks. My pillow, love this piece of gear. I'm sure I've talked about that before. I'm still not using this. I'm not blowing it up. I am literally just putting it down on the ground for its R value. I think it's got an R value of about like 5.5. The not the Thermarest, it's a Nemo as well, but the sleep pad only has maybe an R value of 2. So until the Smokies, I'm going to keep using this as a ground cover, and then I'll probably just send that home. Now, this is what I did different today, is I didn't put my quilt in the compression sack. I left the Kathmandu compression sack back at the hostel for someone else, but I actually, oh boy, the bear canister is so heavy. I wrapped my bear canister in this, and it was excellent. I didn't feel the hard case of the bear canister up against my back, and it put the weight of my food at the bottom of the bag, which actually seemed to really feel good on my body. My hips feel really great for having just done 8 miles. But getting it out it might prove a little difficulty. Oh, there we go. Okay, and so that's my liner. So with having the stuff sack, the waterproof stuff sack, was probably overkill because I do have the Nyloflume liner. This is my second one. And I don't know if it was in my panic the other morning that I got water in there, but the first one I had, I don't know if it failed or if it was just me, operator error. But there you go. We're going to just keep an eye on that, because what you definitely don't want is any water getting onto your down. All right. And so that's everything out of my bag. And I've zipped up the foot box of this and the new bear canister. So you can see why I didn't want to get my lunch out earlier. Now, let me actually get a closer camera shot so I can show you how to open these. And I'll clean up this mess. All right, here it is, my new bear canister. I've already got a couple of stickers on it, so I'm looking forward to collecting some stickers along the way. So this canister, you want to put it like 200 feet away from where you're camping or where you're sheltering. I'm going to stay in the shelter tonight. Besides the bear attack, I quite enjoyed staying in the shelter the other night. There are 2 other guys here and they're tent camping up the way. And so the idea of this is that there is little pieces of plastic here that stop these grooves so the bear can't actually open it. You've kind of got to wedge it somewhere, maybe put a rock on top of it. Some people will put them in fire pits with a stone or rocks on top. I find the fire pits are always really close to the shelter, so I think that's a little close for me. I did see a tree. There's lots of down trees here, so I think I'm going to go and find a tree to wedge it under. What you have to be careful of is that it's not somewhere that could then be raked out by the bear and then roll down the hill. So, so back to how I open it. You're meant to push this area of the lid in and then keep turning it. It's really difficult, and when your hands are cold, it's awful. So, someone showed me this trick. Get an old credit card, or in my case, this SIM card holder for my my Verizon SIM that I just got, and you pop it in that groove there, and then, oh, let me try that again. Pop the card in the groove there, and then as you turn it, there we go. It makes it so easy. And here on top, oh, my lunch. It is early still, it's only 2 o'clock, so I will have my lunch. There's another tortilla in here. What is really important is that any of the rubbish from my snacks today, any of the snacks that I have left over in my hip belt, my sunscreen. I've got an ointment that I'm putting on my lips at the moment. Anything that might have any type of smell to it needs to go in here for nighttime, for safety. So that's the plan.